Oh, how are you? How are you, Tom? Are you doing good?
I'm fantastic.
That's good. I'm feeling pretty good too, man, because that was a pretty good game. We went 13-11. We went the distance. 30 bomb from Kayak. He delivered as expected. I mean, listen, let's talk a little bit about the next map. I know we're going to look reflective, but where are your chances at after what you just saw from Go Next? Do you think that they hit your expectations? Do you think they've still got a chance to take the series?
Oh, for sure. Like, I think they come into the next map with a bit of a surprise. I think the players that I would say I knew a little bit less about, like the likes of Alexik as well, I think he looked fantastic. Like, especially in the role he was doing, because I think that's something that, like, Kayak is a superstar. There's no doubt about it. He's taking fights. He has a lot of setup. And I feel like in a lot of opportunities, you're seeing, even on the defensive side, Alexik is put in spots where it's like, I'm going to put a stun out. You are going to swing this angle at full speed. You need to instantly hit a headshot and get out of there. If you feel like that on a positive, you're doing a good job. So I think that they had that clutch factor with the likes of players like Zeke at times, and I think of Over on the other side as well. So I think we got a real series on our hand, and I don't think I'd be disappointed if it ends on just now going to Haven and they haven't got like a secret plan. They haven't got some cool setups. If they come in playing like an almost defaulty style comp, sort of like what Apex run, I'll be disappointed.
Well, looking at what we saw so far, Tom, 13-11 on Lotus, up next Haven, and then Abyss to close it out. Like you said, this will be, we think, the first time that we'll see Go Next play Abyss. It's not going to be a super comfortable position for them then to have to get that just to take the series. But at the same time, Haven is where it's going to start. And like we said, when we were, I think it was actually exactly the 5-0 mark, 5-0 to Apex. And I said, you just don't want to see them bomb out of that first map, because you got to have some win in your sails moving into Haven. And I think they certainly proved on the Go Next side that they're a contender that can take them pound for pound. But again, you look at the performance of a player like Kayak, and yeah, if he had one off round, maybe that last map would have swung the other way, but it's Kayak. It's hard to force those mistakes again and again. Now moving into Haven, I guess our real concern is, can Go Next do it there? But a player like Bold will certainly be key. He really impressed me. Sure, he's not top fragging the team, but I think he was certainly a pivotal factor in a lot of those fights.
Yeah, he was a very aggressive breach player. Like, obviously, he still had the sort of setup and stuff as well that I think you'll see from any breach player. But there were also a lot of rounds in post plants where he was getting like really aggressive, like actually taking space away from the opponents and making those retakes a lot harder. And that's the thing. You talk about the retakes that are available to Apex. A lot of them are quite setup heavy. Like, you look at Deadlock's utility in general, it's very setup heavy. So you're not having like a Sova to clear some of these angles. You're not having the breach to stun and flash back in. It's reliant on a lot more awkward fights. And I think that they were good at sort of doing well in those scenarios. I think the only thing that's really going to frustrate them is those couple of like clutch rounds they lost to Avova. It's got to be irritating. That 1v3 that was almost won as well versus Molesy, where he actually ends up clutching it out in the end. That's got to be frustrating, because I think there were many moments in this game, especially considering they lost both pistols, that they could have actually come out on top on a map choice of their opponents, and also a map that they're more comfortable on. Because I don't care what you have thought up, I don't care if you have a million wins in scrims, if you've never played an official on a map, or you haven't since January, which I'm not going to accept, then I'm a little bit more nervous about you picking.
Yeah, and even then, when you talk about having played it since January, they lost those games. So there's no real telling what we're going to see on the server today. And circling back to something we talked about earlier, which is the diversity of the agent select in that previous map. We had very different approaches to the game, very different tools at each team's disposal. But when it comes to this one, if Go Next stick with what they were doing in January, which, you know, maybe they've had a few ideas since then. But again, going to be one of the maps where I think it's a bit more normal. We probably won't have that level of excitement coming into the agent select, and we're about to see it here.
No, we really don't.
Ooh,
I would say
different Sentinels. Wow.
Yeah, that's yeah, Yeah, not really what I was hoping for, if I'm being brutally honest. I guess obviously you can talk about the fact that this team isn't even the same roster that we had before. Like, bear in mind that Chak was actually playing at that time, so it's different in the fact that Alexi's coming in as the duelist, and so it now means that Mini's going to be on the Sentinel, but yeah, not much of a change. I guess just a map that they still felt comfortable on, even if they hadn't played it for such a long time. I don't necessarily think I'm excited to see them coming in with it as a pick, though, especially when Apex have been very comfortable on this map. Like, you're talking a 4-0 over the last couple of months and beating out, like, even some of their closer rivals like Sweet and Sour or stuff like that in a 13-7. It wasn't particularly close, so I can only assume that they've gone and done their homework and sort of tried to pinpoint a gap. I also think just in terms of the roles, things might be a little bit more comfortable on this one. Like, you have Soulcast moving back over to an initiator, which is ultimately where he made his name, and I think that it's a bold pick. I excuse the pun to go into this one.
My favorite map Soulcast ever played was actually on Haven. I'll always remember that knife kill. Oh, never mind.
That was just completely unnecessary. We forgive and forget, whereas, well, actually, no, I don't do that at all.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. It's just full BS.
I forgive and forget players that I like, so we
exactly,
forget about that.
Exactly. You don't like him? I know exactly what he did wrong. Let me tell you.
It's not the fact that he's British, I swear.
No. Tom being biased towards British people, it couldn't be.
Now, if it was Rhyme and his leg movements. No, I'm kidding. Moving swiftly on. We're going to see them making their way towards the site. Alexic is going to be the one taking that initial fight, but already Plant looking to come in. I say looking because Kayak's already down.
Yeah, well, they've lost one, but traded him out for the plant. Soulcast falling, though, not part of the plant at all. Malzy's gone. It's Hype and Avova with it all to do and make that just Avova. He is being spammed down from every which angle. The meat grinder he found himself in, there was no escape. 1-0. This time it's a pistol for Go Next.
Yeah, I think important to get one of those under their belt. I think they probably should have won the second one in the last, with the Avova clutch being what caused them more issues. But ultimately, the fact that they've got off to a good start here is going to be important because, again, this is a map that it's difficult to say any map is particularly tough for Apex when you're looking at Polaris. I think they are sort of like the big fish in a small pond sort of thing, and Ascension is to see whether or not that still applies when they move to a slightly bigger lake.
Here.
Nonetheless, just making sure they don't get off to those steamroll starts. It was a 5-0, and then also winning the pistol in the next. It set them up with so many additional rounds. Kayak seeming like he wants to come back in with a vengeance, but again, it's his counter jet. Alexic getting more openers, which is something he did fantastically well on the last map.
Yeah, it might only be pistols he's up against, but it was only a pistol he had, and he was swift with that execution. Already up close. Hype, well, he gets a bit of damage in, that's for sure. Mini heavily tagged up, challenging this outlaw. It's not a wise choice when you don't have those shields, and Profek proves why. Decent damage done. Converting any of it into a kill will be impossible. Look at that feed in the bottom left. Everybody, barring one player below 75 HP, but, well, it just isn't enough. Not able to compound that damage on one. It's a 2-0 start with lots of weapons for the defenders.
I want to see what they buy, because you went, like, it's an unusual second round. Like, you came in with an outlaw, a guardian, an SMG, and 2 pistols. So now, in theory, you could buy back up with a couple of those players and come in with rifles for this round, but it doesn't seem like that is the plan. Go Next actually want to play this as just a really light purchase, and I wonder if that means Alexic's coming in with an operator next round. So that's the only thing that really makes sense for him financially to be saving up for, which, hey, I don't mind it. This map is great for the operator, especially over on towards A and C. In fact, it's not really bad on the B side either, so I guess that's the big part of their plan.
Well, you think about how much success you have in rounds like these, though, when you buy up those rifles just to level the playing field in terms of battles, does mean that looking into the next round, if they do go for that operator, we'll hope to see some decent damage from it, some good impact. Otherwise, We'll feel like a fleeted opportunity here. Go
Yeah.
next. Stacked up on A. It looks like Apex won't be going towards them in the end.
It has to be a gamble. Like at this stage, you're not running with a whole lot. Prophet may even want to try and bring that Outlaw into the next round, although they've got so much cash behind them that I'd be a little bit disappointed if they do. I think it should be an opportunity for them to go and do some damage. Try and reduce the amount that Apex are going to come into this one with. For now, though, Apex just being clinical. They're taking all of the angles with utility beside them, moving in towards the post plant. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is I'd say that with the weaponry they have, in most scenarios, there's a very, very small chance they win the round. Playing post plant outside of the site is maybe one of the only ways it could slip away, but I feel like they'd still have to make some pretty big errors.
I think that's a fair assessment, Tom. Even the spams alone should be enough. I'm waiting for them to walk through even more so. They're worried. They're worried that someone could be defusing, but enough utility, enough bullets made their way in that, well, you survive a shock dart and a nano there, you've probably not going to die to a headshot. You've got God mode on. Looks like it is going to be a spike death for Profec. No chances to further advance that damage. In Apex, 4 players left alive. If there was a force buy up, this would be a great round. Instead, this is sort of the expected result, like a little bit of damage. Maybe they lose one more player. But it's not a fantastic round for Go Next. Luckily, they didn't put all their eggs in one basket.
No, in fact, they put barely anything into this round. Like, they very easily could have had a rifle as a bonus and try and thrown something in, but yeah, they wanted to save up for that operator. I respect it. Like, if you've got a game plan, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is a team that clearly has a game plan around a sniper, and then they never save up for that sniper, and they're like, at 7-0 down or something, they go, oh, let's bring it in. That tilts me off the face of the earth. So a team actually managing their economy to get this in play, I'm more than happy to see it. He has, I'd imagine, been spotted, though. I was about to say that. if there's not a flash going through that, I'll be infuriated.
Oh, but they're not deterred. Still walking towards this site. Now they definitely know the op is there. They've seen him fall back, but they are chasing Apex hot on the heels of Alexic. And have they spotted Mini? Yes, they have. Quickly dealt with. Sneak out from Profec. Those smokes will block him from doing much more. And Alexic has died straight to the head from Avova. And Kayak does just the same. Zeke and Bold with it all to do, and can't even find the space towards Garage. Completely denied a way back in. And unless Bold believes in a 1v5 ace clutch, I think he's just going to play exits.
Go for it. Go on. One for the... It happened last time, didn't it? Bleed when they were qualifying. Scary got a 1v5.
Yeah, you're right.
Why not?
This is your moment, Bold.
Come on. The world is watching if they're not watching Alpha Stream.
Why would they be watching Alpha Stream, Tom? That doesn't make... Well, of course, because there's good Valorant there. You guys should watch it.
Yeah.
Also, but we're better.
Have a dual stream. Watch both. Why not?
No, just watch Omega. Screw those Alpha Stream guys. No, I'm kidding. We like them. They're our friends.
Yeah, I heard at least one of them Scottish. Oh. No, 2-2.
Oh, was that you? Was that your Cairo impression? 2-2.
No, that'd be you.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's messed up, Tom. That's messed up.
Both teams are looking to try and get to tree in this round, as they're currently level at 2 apiece. The thing is, that was a lot of economy put into that round, and to get nothing out of it is not a great sign for Go Next. Like, the operator roaming was very easily forced off the angle. I think the utility from Mosley on the breach was fantastic. That's not a bad start, though. Bold has used the extra cash he had left to purchase up in this round. Lexic as well does have a Blade Storm. Solid utility from Mini. This is starting to look like a winnable round now. And especially as they've added in that Blade Storm into the mix, this is very doable for them.
Spike planted.
Certainly looking so, and I like their approach too, Tom. They're not just running in, taking space up close. Instead, waiting for this blob. 4 players together in the spawn, a drone leading the way. I like it. Solkas is shot through the wall. What did Mini see? What did he sense? And now hype has gone to, it's Malsey all alone, and Probably scratching his head as to how the first of those kills went the other way. Mini's hit another wall bang. Just stay away from this guy. Keep at least 3 walls between you, and you'll be just fine. That is 3 rounds on the board now for Go Next, and a remarkable round at that.
Yeah, they've done it without losing a single player either. Again, there's a round where you save up to get an operator in to try and win a round, and then there's a round where you have a few pistols and a blade storm, and that's the one that you win. Maybe the operator wasn't needed after all, but Go Next aren't going to mind. They're pulling their first buy round onto the board. Of course, for Apex, they kept the last one nice and clean, so I don't think it's going to affect them too much economically.
It's good to see neither team pulling punches early on. Go Next have gone for a bit of control on A, smoked out, denied the information they want there. C site, super passive. That side for utility, you can see why it's being used in place of that Killjoy. You got Mini close on the rotate for the A site, far back away from C in case that bombardment of util comes in, and Cam's grabbing you the info much later on. Traps catching them on the way through. The big gap though is here in Garage. Instead, it's going to be covered off by 2 players just holding it with a rifle, gambling that they'll cross over there. The Cam might even have spotted some feet. They could have an idea. They want to re-clear it with the paranoia. It does catch hype, but it does not matter.
Yeah, they've still managed to find the advantage nonetheless, and off the attack, that's a pretty big deal. Bold now looking to go walkabouts. He's taken a lot of control. But the TP's going to be directly in towards the C site. Maybe trying to sell this as a ruse. In fact, it could work out even better. Both kills coming up for Bold again. He switched his role in this one, but still finding the value. And Soulcast lost in the source, has walked straight back into his opponent. It leaves just Molesy remaining. The round's already over. He doesn't have the spike.
Yeah, well, he would have to go sprinting to have a chance at recovering it. And in fact, Alexic is the one to land the shot anyways. 4 on the board now, and this defensive side really heating up in these last couple of rounds. Apex got to be feeling the pressure, but economically still able to grab a good investment as they move into this round. This is where they'll look to reset it. That position though, the fact that Hype, even blinded up, is able to get the first, that set them up for a very strong round, but the disruption of that late round aggression out of the players like Zeke has got them the reward.
Yeah, I to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing a pause here from the side of Apex. Like, there's now a couple of rounds where they've been caught by like walking into trips and dying to a sheriff. Like the last round, they were caught by a player walking up and getting 2 kills. Now they're about to just run into the blender. What was that? Blink and you miss it. Give him the ace. You gotta give him the ace. Oh, there we go. Off the mark, Alexic. That was unbelievable. Wow.
I think he saw what Kayak did last map, and he's got a little jealous. 30 bomb? Well, it looks like Alexic's on track.
Take the pause. Take the pause.
The oh, from the top
down.
This
was a buy. This was a buy.
3 out of 4 headshots.
Nah, that's outrageous.
No, I mean, this is a technical timeout. No, we got to check this man's PC. Fly the admins out. Get cast to Alexic's house. Something's going on. What was that? You can't be allowing that to just carry on your server. 10-2 in terms of KD. Alexic is absolutely dominating, and 5-2 in terms of the scoreline. You definitely understand why Apex have called this timeout after watching that last round. Mind you, I don't know what you're going to say about that. Don't get shot in the head through smokes. Kind of a hard piece of advice to onboard. Or through walls too. Just avoid both of those things, and I think it's plain sailing. Like, gee, thanks, coach. Okay, let me figure out how the hell I'm going to do that. 5-2. I have to say, they showed a lot of resilience on that first map. The fact that facing against a map they don't play often, a map they don't play at all, they're coming in with this much firepower. That is a great sign for what Go Next can do, not just in this game, but in this Ascension tournament.
No, that was legitimately insane. Like, I won't lie, I'm still a little bit flabbergasted from what I've just seen. The 18-year-old Alex is just it's just trounced them. That was disgusting, and it's something that they're gonna have to try and recover from, because again, that wasn't an eco. That was a blade storm of 4 guns, and they've just got obliterated the second they got anywhere near him. Again, though, you could see further confidence. Deep C control already there. Deep A control already there. Okay, the B site's left open, but it's evident that the defense want to play that as more of a retake. But that's the thing, like, you could see Go Next are truly just disrespecting Apex on the amount of map control they're willing to take. Because, let's be honest, a lot of these rounds, Apex have either tried to quickly make a play somewhere, or they've been playing the middle of the map.
Well, playing the middle of the map here are Apex, as they found themselves a bit of control and a plant. The post plant might be difficult. Flank already opened up on one side. Now they've got to be worried about that aggression from Bold. Not only that, it's the fact that you had Mini up close. You could have had a crunch in the spawn. That's what Apex are back defending from. 3 players to their spawn, 1 in mid and 1 on the site. Some isolated fights, perhaps. Paranoia, but Avova's close in the smoke. He can still see. They emerge through that. The shorty leading the charge, and every shot connecting. On the side of Go Next, it seems like they've got the solution to the Apex problem. They are not afraid to use it. 6-2 now, and the defense showing no signs of slowing, with 4 players alive and a couple ultimates as that round ends.
God, I think we found the Apex Predator, because right now they are just, like, they literally gave them the B site completely and then just retook it like it was nothing. Like, that looks so unbelievably easy, moving as a unit. And that's always the thing. I think a lot of stuff can be quite overstated when it comes to Valorant. Just having that good timing, getting back into the smoke together. Like, even if there was a kill going the way of Avova, he would have had to get basically the same crazy multi-frag we just witnessed. And now you can see already, they're just looking to try and deny any form of map control. Alexic again is going to be back on that operator. I won't lie, I'm a little bit disappointed because his rifle so far has been nuts, and well, he might have overstepped the mark a little bit there.
Yeah, I thought he was back on the neon for a second. It was a decent kill for Apex. The decision on where they go next is going to be very important. Smoke up top, Rolling Thunder using it. It's caught them both. They're stunned up and gunned up. A site taken. Apex have it for free. And that may just be the result that they've been looking for quite a while. A round victory under their belt. And, well, Tom, I think it's already confirmed. I can see Zeke and Mini just tucking further towards that C site. They have no intention of going for this.
Careful.
No, I think they'd have to be a little bit insane if they were. The only real positive factor would be they do have a lot of economy. Like, they can afford to throw all of these guns off the map and they'll still be absolutely fine for the next round. So I wouldn't necessarily have minded it, but especially on an A site retake, chances are you're just going to give them orbs and not actually get anything in return. So not necessarily worth it. I will also say, I don't want to see Alexic touch an operator for the rest of the half. Like, the guy has been so good with the rifle, and I get that he's trying to get up in the face of opponents, but I think him being dynamic has so much more value for them, and him being shut down early, definitely more of a problem. I also wonder if that will force Go Next to be at least a little bit more reserved, because, as said, like, the round before, they had full C and A control within like 15 seconds. So I guess that's why he feels so comfortable pushing that up. And I like the fact that after the pause, Apex have started to at least challenge a little bit for some of this map control. Because I think giving all of it up for free, it just makes it so easy for Go Next to have stack ups, have players in the right position, and more importantly, have so much control for the retake.
Yeah, that's always a problem. Giving your opponent the pieces of the puzzle to put together. And we've seen Go Next make beautiful use of those so far. Now the defensive side is seeing a bit of aggression down C long. We've seen Mini do this many times. Tucked into that spot for the late round, but generally whenever the B side is hit, Mini hasn't given it away, hasn't committed to the push up, just falls back and plays with the team. That might give an advantage here. If Hype does decide to go up long to close in the distance on that smoke, Mini's there, and if Hype doesn't, Mini hears the runaway. That's the information already fed over to the rest of Go Next, that this probably is not a C site hit anymore.
The only thing that makes it interesting is the fact that he did destroy the bot. So
Yeah,
I think
they
they
know.
know that he's taken that control. Again, they're going to go for this BSAT. Now, last time in the post plant, they got obliterated. Now, this time they've left Hype behind. Now, he's going to be sat all the way back towards the spawn because they got wrapped in on the flank so quickly that it ended up being a problem. Bold is going to be pressured as well, looking to be more proactive, and Soulcast has won that fight too. This time, it's not going to be the group up. Now, they have spotted Hype. They know exactly where he is. He doesn't know as well that they're already going to be facing this angle. Whoa, it looked a little bit dicey, but the job was done.
We got there in the end, Tom. That's what it's all about. A little bit of a problem on the backside. Avova has to reposition, but he's still safely tucked away out of vision. Now's a chance to strike. They make their way in. It's Profek to fall first. Kayak claiming all the kills so far. Too quick on the operator, and now they're boxed in. Sure, they'll find the kill, and indeed another third for Alexic, but the time is too far gone. And with that, another round for the side of Apex. They're starting to drum up some support on the attack side.
Yeah, I like the adaptation in their B take. A lot of what they were doing before was they'd get into the post plant and they'd just sit there. They'd fall all the way back. We saw it even in some of their early rounds as well, where they were just happy to sit passive and not really battle for any control. This time, they not only leave a player behind, which gives them information, but more importantly, they take control into A-Link. So it makes that retake so much more difficult. You can't see that same group up, and even though Alexi did well, even got it to half, they then had Hunter's Fury and an Aftershock to deny the diffuser. There was no way he was getting that over the line. So solid work from them. Profek is W-kin. He is all the way up. That's A control already in their hands. Molsey definitely seems to know it. Can they do anything about it, more importantly?
I think even just tucking in, though, for Molsey could be worthwhile. Find that value later. TP committed, and Avova's got a player right behind him. No idea that Bold would already be there, and the timing slightly off for Kayak joining him. Now that Jet on his own, moving to the A site, caught by Zeke. The Hunter's Fury found its mark. So too did the push up from Profek. That should be the round already dealt with. Solkas, the last man standing, has at least got the spike. The potential for a plant, but after that, he is going to be on his own against the majority of the Go Next side. The heavy hitters still online, and although a drone has been used, there's still a ton of utility for the retake.
It seems more so down to how much damage he can do, but even then the economy of Go Next is pretty good. And maybe if he could somehow remove an operator, but it would have to be a pretty impressive clutch with them already encroaching in on his position. The operator down towards long. It's going to be an isolated fight. The rest a bit further away, but even if he gets even if he gets this one, they're going to be right on his tail. And while Profek is going to make sure that nothing more comes of it. A little bit more of an economic boost, and the operator will be saved. It's a 7th round on the board. They'll go in with a victory at the half, and I'll be honest, Mitch, I think they've deserved it.
I think so. Yeah, this has been a very well-rounded half presented by Go Next. I've been very impressed with what they're putting through. Even the fact that Bold is going for the ult there. Zeke's gone back to fill in the space and make sure no flank goes up on him. Ends up running right into a free kill. I feel like this is a team that's ticking all the boxes, and maybe one of the benefits of playing such an old map like Haven. It's a big map. It challenges your rotations. It challenges your calling, but it is one of the more basic maps in terms of its foundation. You go into a fracture with no pracs on it, no officials, you're in trouble. It's going to be a tough game, mainly because it's not even in the pool. So I don't know how you got there, but you go into a Haven, you can piece it together. You can figure it out.
Again, timing is going to be everything. They keep doing this. They clear some of the angles, but then they go back through the smoke. So it doesn't really give anything away to their opponents. Profek now, he's the one with that operator, and it still doesn't seem to have had any real impact. In fact, they have 2 operators in the same spot. That's such a weird way to play the op, but it has worked out for them. A 1v1 Kayak versus Bold in the last map, that would have only gone one way, but Kayak hasn't quite been hitting the same, and I think it's noticeable in the scoreline. Him not having those high impact rounds, and Apex struggling.
Yeah, I think we absolutely see that. Go Next, there's been heroes
there with an AWP.
Stepping up to the plate again and again. Halsey, well, he'll grab one, doesn't expect the second player there, and there's another uncouth opposition finding mass value And Go Next seem to have this one on lockdown.
30 seconds
Looks like Hype is attempting to have the C site. Still some space for them to fight up behind it. And Alexic takes advantage of it. 8-4 at the halftime. A strong showing from the defensive side of Go Next.
Yeah, I think a very peculiar way to finish off the defensive half. 2 ops in the same place, but we'll see what they've got going into the attack side as we'll be back after the break.
One down.
Yeah.
I was muted in VMix that entire time, Tom. So the tech pause seems like it was for me, but actually it's for the teams. They're sorting out some stuff. Sorry about that, folks. To summarize, it's 8-4, and Go Next have done well.
It's okay,
That's
Mute Man.
basically what I said. Mute Man returns.
Mute Man never truly left. Yeah, what you did say, though, is you gave Alexic the hype he deserved. He had an incredible half, had what I will assume is the first ace of the tournament, although I'm not going to give any spoilers, but if you want to check out what happened in the other map, there was a lot of opportunities for aces to have come through, so I can't confirm or deny, but he was impressive. But I also think the team overall, like, they're really solid in the retakes, really good at taking map control, and I think you're noticing the difference of Kayak not having that insane performance, and I think expectations of him to do that again every single map would be absurd, but it is making me wonder if Apex are going to be able to take this one over the line, because they now head into the defensive side. Okay, sure, he's not going to have to entry with his face anymore. He can actually take some more measured battles, look to do the same as what Alexic did in the last half. But we're also seeing just some very quiet performers overall who have ultimately been blitzed. I think a lot of the strategies that were attempted at times didn't have a lot of legs to them, and right now on Haven, as I said, a map that hasn't been played since January for the side of Go Next is looking very good.
Yeah, like I said, I think this is one of those maps where you can have that adjustment if you haven't got as many reps on it, as long as you've got the sort of the foundational understanding across the team of how you want to play it. I think the execution is something that, compared to some of the other maps in the pool, and indeed outside of the pool especially, it's going to be a bit more forgiving. For Apex, this game has been anything but forgiving. 13-11 in the previous, one off of a close clutch, and now, or rather stopping a defuse through a wall at the last second. Could have been an overtime for us as well. But Apex now sit with just 4 rounds moving on to their defensive side, and I think even if you expect this to be a close game today, Tom, you wouldn't expect to see Apex trailing by this much.
Yeah, I think they've definitely had their struggles, and I think a couple of rounds as well in the early stages almost gifted to them with a weak purchase coming in round number 2. Oh, sorry, round number 3. But we'll see what's going to be there in the pistol. Already an afterplant scenario for the side of Go Next. When it came to the last map, their afterplants were stellar, but You're going to have a lot available for that retake stun already going through. Paranoia is going to be available as well and utilized, but no one really capitalizing off it. In fact, it's again going to be Alexic in these aggressive positions that already looks to put this one to bed. Left all onto Ballsy, and he'll face across against that youngster. And again, he is thriving.
Yeah, this guy's just on fire. Last map, we saw Kayak drop 31 kills, and it was an extremely close game. Very different ball game. Now, this time around, Alexic is hitting absolutely everything. They're dominating in the scoreline. They're picking up pistols, just like Apex
He
did.
didn't even take any damage.
Yeah, clean, untouchable. Only 4 deaths so far as well. The lowest deaths on the server and the most kills by more than double. So that is...
And the most aggressive player. Like, think about where he got his ace. He was pushed up behind the smoke. Like, it's not like he's been chilling. Oh, an investment for Kayak. Let's see what he can do with the Marshall. Again, it obviously will feel like we're putting a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but it feels like after the last map, he needs to have a step up. As does everyone else. Well, this is what I meant about him not exactly...
Oh, no! Oh,
I don't want to talk about it.
Spike planted.
A brave play by Sulcus,
God
man.
save our gracious king.
Sulcus. Oh. Sulcus is our gracious king. But, well, he went down.
Haven's not his map. Let's just...
It's really not. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he was going to go for the knife. I don't know why he didn't.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Any other gun. Literally any other gun. And instead, Alexic's now looking to try and just get orbs onto the board. He's down to a sheriff. He's handed off the rifle. Looking to try and find Hype as well. He's just... He's going to get revealed, and there you go. He's now getting ever closer to having that Blade Storm online. Again, this guy just seems unkillable. Although a shorty at range was less than desirable. That's the way I'll put it.
Yeah,
Don't show it again.
This is very unfortunate because the reality is Sulcus just paid 300 credits to lose that round, and lose that fight.
Lose that kill.
Sad.
Yeah, not the round.
Yeah,
I don't
not the
think
round. Well, who knows? If he goes up and knifes him, gets his gun, I see 2 more kills for Sulcus. They win the round. Are we going to have a little wall bang going on? Are we? Yes, we are. Okay, Tibbity tapping away, but it's Mulsey who ends up getting some return to sender his way. He's lit down himself. A couple of tags. They are quickly on his tail. Looking to, oh no, looking to move this towards the A site, the B site. Where are they going? Alexic's keeping it up in the air, and well, his life is lost in the process.
Getting rid of him has been a tough task for them so far. Kayak as well, aggressive in front of the drone, and what? Even though this is a better purchase than what we've seen prior, it's looking a little bit rough, although Bold has managed to turn this back into a workable position. Both facing off against Soulcast. Well, with a rifle in hand, things go a little bit more swimmingly. 10-5, Apex back onto the board, but it definitely feels like a long road to recovery.
Yeah, again, though, something you have to think about for Apex is that, like, when it comes to losing maps, we've already discussed just how rare that is. And bar the good old Irishman, sweet and sour, they don't lose series. So, go next, push them to the limit. That could be a scary sign for them. Because look, we talk about experience. Ultimately, Apex don't have much experience at losing maps. They certainly don't have the experience when it comes to
maybe in
high
their
stakes
previous
games.
teams.
Oh yeah, listen, as individuals, they most certainly do. That honeymoon period, well, they've been brought to a new destination, and it ain't quite so tranquil here. Go next, putting up one hell of a fight already, picking off Kayak, the opening duel, and the duelist for Apex that's done so much in just the previous map. Gets nothing done here.
No, completely shut down. Seems like he's met his match so far in this game, and you can see the re-aggression from Apex. They're not just going to sit back and allow this space to be taken. The problem is, I am a fan of Bold. I think I have been in the past, but it is being revitalized here. Happy to try and slow down the pace. Now, do they actually check for this? Are they ready? Whoa, Mini definitely is, and Profik is watching the other angle. This team is looking like they are
Last
reading
player standing.
from the book of their opponents, every hidden angle, every crossfire, every corner checked. Of what Apex, I don't know. I don't even think they played that one badly.
30
It was
seconds
just
left.
that Go Next were more than ready for everything they were trying to do.
This is the thing. Sometimes when you see a series like this, a team like Apex who rarely lose, when they do lose, it's them that lost it a lot of the time. The teams get overconfident. What in the world is that, my dude? Fix your sensitivity. But that definitely doesn't feel like the case here for Apex. Are there some fights they could be winning? Sure. I mean, Kayak on short could win the opening duel, yada yada. But Go Next are there for them every step of the way. They're catching them out, tripping them up. And for a map they haven't played since January, well, evidently keeping those cards up their sleeve has paid off. Hype gonna struggle to save. Look at this, a flood of red onto his side of the map as Go Next did not want that weapon carried forward. 11-5 now. The home stretch already entered for Go Next, while Apex they barely started the map.
Yeah, no, that was just utterly clean. Like, I think as well, just the way that they took out that crossfire, like, it's just team synergy, which again, I think when you look at a lot of, like, younger teams or a lot of inexperienced teams or teams that haven't played at the top flight, you expect gaps, you expect mistakes, you expect slip-ups, and you don't expect it to be, like, synergetic as we saw there, but that was just so clean in terms of how ready they were for every single little piece of that puzzle from Apex. We're still going to have an investment into this round. Alexic already taking full control of the C site, and as said already, when it comes to the post plants, Go Next have looked unbelievable. Like, they've looked like they've been in a spot that's hard to beat, and I don't mind Apex trying to get back in, but even still, they're going to be met with so much resistance. It's down to Avova, and he doesn't even get a breather. The second he tries to move, he's immediately dead. 12-5. We are one round away from a third map, but I don't know. The thing is, right now, it looks like Go Next could have 2-0'd this series.
Well, yeah, they absolutely could have. Again, they were so close to defusing in the last, to bringing it to an OT. A few clutches that could have went their way as well. Like, it was a tight game, and now, well, this one is anything but that. A dominant scoreline for Go Next, and again, if we were
Are you
going
now
to see...
doubting my statement that I said at the beginning? Yeah? You wanna eat your words?
You know what, Tom? I would...
Or are you doubting that Apex will get there now?
I really desired you to be wrong, but I'm not certain anymore. I mean, this Go Next squad, they don't look too bad. I'll give you that. Alexic is unbelievable, and this map has definitely highlighted it. I think he was able to go blow for blow in a couple of the rounds in the previous map, but this one here, a different ball game altogether. Commanding lead. The attack side looks to close it out here. Abyss, another ace up the sleeve, perhaps, for the Go Next squad.
Ready. Information found. They know that they're walking into a stacked up site, but at this stage, they don't seem to give a damn. It is looking good, but Kayak still standing, looking for a little bit more. It'll be left down to just hype, and that is the end of what has been a quick and brief haven as Go Next will take us to a third.
Yes, Tom, indeed it was. It was quick, it was brief, over in an instant, but you know what, Tom? We can't forget the good times we had here. A phenomenal display from Go Next and a phenomenal map from them too. Now, we move all the way to Abyss. Let's see who can take it on map number 3.